How is it going, everyone? Welcome to more Gran Turismo 3. And today I want to do one of the professional championships, which is probably gonna be so long that it's gonna take the whole stream if I had to take a guess, because if all races are 10 laps and there are gonna be 10 races in total, I don't think that's gonna be short. The idea will be this one. I'm pretty sure, well, there is no limitations, no. I wanna first see how it is to participate with the car I'm currently using. It's probably not enough. I mean, it really depends on the opponents, but I just want to see. Okay, yeah, against these cars I don't think this one is gonna do much, especially the one in first place is the LMP, so I just want to see how I fare, but this is not gonna work. Yes, as expected, it's 10 laps per race, so it is most likely gonna take the whole stream. But I still want to see how I fare against these guys, despite knowing I have no chance. If I start like that, I'm definitely gonna have no chance. God damn. Yeah, well, that's a bad way to test it. But even though it seems that I am faster than demonstrates, the main issue is the way it works on regular corners. Like a car like this is simply not smooth enough, though. I still wanna see, I mean, if I can reach them here. But see, this is another problem. If this behaves like the previous tournament, where the cars get faster on the final races, even if I am able to be faster than them here, it doesn't matter. I don't think I will be faster than them here. Most likely we're gonna have to pick the Le Mans prototype. I at least wanted to do one lap to see what to expect from this car, but yeah, seems that we are gonna have to retire it from the professional events. It can still do the remaining championships in the amateur events, assuming I bother to do them, that is. Probably not. But it seems that obviously I lost a lot of time at the beginning, but I'm not recovering it either. Like those 7 seconds are remaining as 7 seconds. I mean, I'm obviously not driving well, that's also true, but this thing will simply not be enough. So I guess it's time for Le Mans prototype then. I mean, it's the same car as the first one, so it's kinda the confirmation that should be the right choice, but I still need to do a couple things, like changing the tires and stuff. First of all, selected. Oh, it says the color is black, or maybe it's because it doesn't really have any choice, like that's the only color you can have. I'm assuming you cannot do any upgrade, like aside from changing the tires, there's nothing you can do here. Like, this is a fully completed car, you know? There's nothing to change here. Correct. I just wanted, well, actually you can do, you can install a turbo, really? Will that even be a good idea? Like, wouldn't this make it so fast that it's impossible to control? I mean, it will be useful in the test course, obviously, but I mean, I could... No, I'm not gonna purchase it yet. I want to do at least one lap without it. I do need to purchase this. Oh, it already uses medium by default. Oh, okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna use the medium. And stability control, yeah. So essentially, the only things you're allowed to buy is the level 1 turbo. Which, hold up. Now that I think about it, in case these guys get faster in the middle of the tournament, I could purchase it but not equip it. I purchase, install, no. So if later these guys decide to cheat and go faster, I could change it. I could also... No, I'm gonna go with the mediums. I just hope that mediums are gonna be enough. Like, tire consumption changes between cars, so what's medium in these ones, like how fast they get consumed is not the same as in the Lotus Sprint. Let's just see how this goes. So this right now is just medium tires, no turbo, well, aside from the one it has by default. Let's see how this thing goes. Okay. But for now, at least, it seems the speed will be enough. Actually, the shitty one is overtaking the LMP. Okay. Shitty one is actually putting in work. It's something that I noticed already in the amateur championships. These guys are doing very weird movements. You can actually notice the rubber banding. Those moves are not normal. I get that these are super fast cars, they are hard to control and all of that. That's not how they should look. So my opponent is actually gonna be this guy and not the other LMP, huh? Alright, I mean, I don't mind. Will be fast enough to compete with him. But another thing that this race is gonna be useful for is to know exactly how often this guy speed. On a straight line, apparently I'm faster than him. And tire consumption so far is not looking that bad. I mean, it's kinda looking similar to the A-Spec tire consumption, which means that it should be able to withstand until the 5th lap. I want to believe though. Spitting in more than once is not gonna be acceptable, clearly. Oh. Okay. You cannot... In cars like this, hitting the piano like that is a very bad idea. In cars like this that are single seat cars, when you hit a piano with the piano being like in the middle of the car, that's an amazing way to lose stability. It's the same thing with Formula cars. Basically, any of these type of cars that are super low in terms of height, I mean, like, you really wanna be careful. I like the way this car drives. I usually have the idea that these cars are unmanageable, but well, I mean, half of the work is being done by the traction control, you know? Like, that's the one that's making this stable. This at least, see, if the race is like this and this guy is constantly on my ass here, I don't mind this type of competition. Like, obviously I would prefer the races to be shorter, but at least having to worry about driving well like keeping the consistency. I like that. And it seems that the other two guys, the other three guys, are not competitive whatsoever here. They have no reason to be here. Essentially, it's a matter of paying attention to the GT1 and the LMP. But mostly this guy. Wait, 3 seconds, really? I'm not using any upgrade. Keep in mind that I purchased the turbo, but I didn't equip it. So this is all on me. Well, that's cool. But if it is like the previous championship, these guys are most likely gonna go faster later. I can definitely see that happening. But I'm at least ready for that. 100% ready. And we still don't know about how these guys are gonna pit. That's the thing. We don't know if these guys will even pit. If they don't pit, I'm in trouble, because medium tires are not gonna last, obviously. Not for 10 laps. Quite honestly, it seems that they could probably resist until lap 8. So if we were to get a 15 lap race, we could also be able to do a single pit stop, but for that to be the case, will be rough. I do hope there are no 15 laps races though. I mean, already having 10 races with 10 laps each is a little bit too much, don't you think? This is what they do, just so you start getting cocky, and the moment you do, they increase their speed, like it's nothing, and that is when there's nothing you can do about that. Because I remember that the first lap of the previous Gran Turismo World Tournament, the first race, I was also obliterating my opponents without much problem until the 5th race, where they suddenly started to become overpowered, you know. I would like to avoid that, if possible. I think that using, by the way, that turbo, I feel like it will make it a lot harder to stop in places like this. Or maybe not. I mean, the only way to know is by trying, but I don't know if I should change the transmission, because it feels like my acceleration is not fast enough. Like, I could do faster than this. So for example, here in this straight, how far am I from top speed? I wonder. Because if I'm far from it, because it is a very long straight, I probably... Wait, you only have 5 speeds? think it actually only has five gears. Okay, the shitty one is already pitting in, so I guess as expected, gonna be in the middle of the race. Well, that was what my strategy was gonna be. I mean, now that I know that he does that, it will be my strategy. But what about the other, the LMP, like the guy that is using the same car I am using? Is that the guy gonna pit now, or is he not gonna pit? Well, assuming that he's using the car in the same conditions I am, here I could go one more lap without pitting. Just that I don't see much of a reason. Well, obviously the opponent AI doesn't have reasoning skills, but here if you're gonna do one stop anyways, might as well do it in the middle of the race instead of waiting for the end for no reason. Waiting for your tires to get more and more weary. Okay, I'm gonna pit in this lap. And even pitting in this guy, I don't think is gonna overtake. Even if he doesn't pit in, I think I'm still ahead of him. We will see though. He definitely won't pit in. No, I won't be ahead of him actually. Not at all. But I want to believe you're gonna pit in at least once. Like, I want to believe. Like, you cannot be that much of a cheater, right? Surely not. Surely you will behave. That doesn't matter, I can still overtake him on the track. I don't need him to pit in. You are not fast enough, not yet. After you suddenly increase your horsepower on the final races, maybe, but for now, it won't be enough for you. Well, it seems that you are in checkmate. What are you gonna do about it? Oh, you're still not pitting in, huh? Well, it will be an interesting plot twist if this guy does not pit in the whole race. I guess that means that you will have to take that into account. I mean, assuming I wouldn't be able to overtake him like I'm about to do, the only way to counterplay this is using slick tires. Okay, there's nothing else you can do in this situation. Okay, I am the faster LMP. Sorry about that. You know. If you want my advice, this is what I'll tell you to do. You have to brake later and accelerate earlier in corners. That's the tip, to go faster. I'm sure that getting cocky now is not gonna bite me in the ass later. So something that I really worry here is the choice of tracks. Like, I want to imagine the test course is not gonna be big, but something that is probably gonna be big is gonna be Monaco. It's gonna be an absolute shit fest. Like 10 laps on that. I mean, if I have enough points to win the championship regardless, the best idea will probably be to forfeit that race. Are you gonna pit in now? Or are you still going commando? No, this guy is going commando. And if he doesn't pit on this lap, he did the whole thing without pitting. Alright. Interesting strat. But that is a problem. Since I didn't buy the slick tires and you're not allowed to do it once, maybe you are allowed to do it in the tournament. Like, there are some Gran Turismo games that I remember that you were allowed to get out of the tournament to purchase stuff. But I'm not sure if this game can do that. I mean, I hope. But then again, driving with slick tires on something like this will probably be a horrible idea. Like, slick tires, or rather, medium slick tires already were horrible in the Lotus Sprint. That was a lot slower. Well, not a lot slower, but it was slower. On this one, you can forget about that. Okay, this Mazda that is against me does that in every single lap, in every single race, and he gets faster as the championship progresses. Well, the turbo could also act as a counter, I guess. Maybe. So is it just me, or am I actually doing this track slower than I will be doing it with the Lotus Sprint? Hey, am I actually doing it slower? No, there is no way that's the case, right? I don't remember if I did this track with the Lotus Sprint with 10 laps. Because right now it feels like I will have faster lap times with that thing. Wouldn't I? Not so sure. My rival didn't pit, so this could pose a problem on the rest of the championship. This could very easily be a problem. Right now I'm way faster than him, but I think eventually that won't be the case. Unfortunately though, that was kinda free. It's only the case now. Maybe on the following ones they will go faster, but for now this, even with this guy not pitting in, there is no way these guys can beat me. They are not even close. So I don't know if doing 10 races of this is a good idea. And it's not the only championship like that in this league. We go to Apricot Hill. Well, at least Apricot Hill is one that I did relatively recently, right? I mean with the sprint, so I could compare lap times better, I guess. So this is the reverse version of Apricot Hill, as the chicane right at the beginning. No, that's not where you... That's an illegal overtake, Mr. GT1. You cannot overtake like that. That's not allowed. In overtaking from off track like that is usually illegal in any serious competition. This guy is going fast. He's certainly not slowing down. Will they already get faster than me? But they will wait a couple more races, or maybe no. Pretty funny that this guy got first place from an illegal overtake, so I'm doing the same. I'm doing the same. If you're allowed to do it, I'm allowed to do it. Well, last race he also seemed faster until we were both on a straight line and I clearly was faster. So maybe the same thing will happen here. I mean, considering that this guy pits in on lap 5, maybe the tire degradation is a lot faster on him. Or maybe none of that matters and the game just makes up whatever rules it wants. I think the time that I'm taking to do these laps is okay. Compared to the Esprit, it's similar enough. Now, this track is a lot shorter than the previous one, so there is a very small possibility that I might not even require to pit at all. But I don't know. It seems that eventually the GT1s just falls off. I mean, it's probably scripted to be that way, but it really just seems to suddenly stop going fast. for now it seems that it will be a piece of cake regardless. You can tell that the LMP is also pretty far, so it shouldn't be a problem. So it seems that this might be the only LMP in the whole game. Remember Gran Turismo 4 having more, but this one probably only has this one. They probably didn't get the rights for more. So the game kinda spoiled me in one of the demonstration videos that they are indeed Formula cars. And well, they are the Formula cars basically. And that's probably the Formula championship thingy that is at the end. And depending on how this championship goes, I might just go straight for that one and then I'm done. Because I don't think there might be much value of trying to be a completionist or anything like that. I think that it's just not gonna be very fruitful to do that. Considering that the Formula Championship might be hard enough that it might require me to play very well. So I would also assume that some of the exclusive events will be good too. With the exclusive car events, it's probably gonna go as that Beetle Cup went. As long as you upgrade it, you're not really gonna go at the same pace as your rivals. So ultimately, it's not gonna be very challenging. Okay, right here it seems that the idea is the same. The GT1 pits once, and the LMP never pits. And that means that I essentially need to have enough of a distance with the LMP to not lose. Essentially, I need to be fast enough in the track to beat this guy. So far, this is not a problem. I mean, if I hadn't pit until the next lap, this guy wouldn't have even overtaken me. Let me pass, little guy. Just let me pass. Yeah, unless these guys really get a speed boost on the later part of the tournament, I don't see this as a very challenging thing to do at all. And what even is gonna be the reward here? Like, unless I get the GT1 as a reward, there is no reward here that will be worth it. The car that I have, you get it in like the win, completely guaranteed. So if it wasn't also a reward in this championship, it would be an absolute insult, to say the least. If you will be able to sell it for a nice amount of money, still messed up. Still, still thinking of that Monaco test without the TCS. That's crazy. Because by default the game lets you use that, so it's absolutely ridiculous for a test to not have it. I mean, mostly with a car like that. At least that thing is done. The only license left is the rally license. In fact, that's what I've been thinking. Maybe on the next stream my idea will be to do the rally license and also play rally. If the rally is like Gran Turismo 2, it's gonna be time trial, which will be pretty cool. No, I'm not so sure about it. And aside from the Formula cars, I don't think there is a pool of opponents in this game that is gonna be faster than the one in this championship. I mean, this is after all the final Gran Turismo World Championship in the game. The rest are other things, like you have the Dream Car Championship and some other fancy shit, but aside from the Formula Championship, I'm pretty sure this is as fast as it gets. Oh. Once I clear this championship, I think the only worthy thing to do will be the Formula One. I think that after all, going for completionism is not gonna be worth it. So can I even beat the Formula Championship with this thing? Because I will assume that normally you will want to have a Formula car, but I seen the Formula car as a pool of rewards on the endurance, so... But the restriction to enter was having a racing car. So unless by racing car they mean only Formula allowed, this one is a racing car, so it should be allowed. Then there will be something to test some other time. Also pretty crazy that the monetary rewards are so shit, even this far into the game, you know? I mean, 35,000 is a decent amount, I guess, but leaves a little bit to be desired, if you ask me. So why are all of these races in reverse? Why do you like them in reverse so much? Uh-oh. Oh, it's fine. It feels like that the guy used the brakes a little bit too early, right? Was no need to brake that early. The problem is that in this game I never did this track backwards, so it's gonna be hard to get used to it. The corners of this track tend to be very tricky. I kinda already memorized them on the normal way, but in the opposite way, that's a different story. I don't think it will be enough of a problem. I'm already on the first lap and I have this guy so behind me, it's crazy. That's pretty rough for these little guys. A little bit rough. Okay, I didn't need more than one lap. Keep in mind that I'm using this car exactly as it came. Like, no upgrades whatsoever. It is kinda the intended way of doing this championship. So I don't know if the game, maybe the game doesn't expect you to do like the win first. It probably wants you to beat this race with a, you know, like probably it intends me to beat these races with the Lotus Esprit, for example. Though it actually would have been impossible, because even if I can stay in front of them, the fact that the LMP doesn't pit, and with the Esprit I will need to pit no matter what, that already will make it impossible with that car. But then you have the alternative, which is this car, where I absolutely wash these guys with no resistance whatsoever. So I wonder what was the intended car to do this. Because if it is this one, unless you remove the TCS and the ASM, there is absolutely no challenge on this. Like, as long as you drive well, and by driving well I mean minimally not crashing. So, like, I'm not even saying driving optimally, it's just trying to keep the car in the asphalt and far from the walls, like not like that. As long as you do that, this is absurdly free. Like, it's absurd how free it is. And surprisingly here, the LMP is actually ahead of the GT1. Is that because of the straight? That the LMP is just faster, or what? Not sure. I'm really looking at the minimap, and the situation looks so ugly for these guys. It's like I'm in a different category, except I have the exact same car as that guy. I guess the excuse that you could have here is that, well, he's using super slick tires. That's pretty nice and everything, but not like the default tires are slick, so like it's not like I came up with this strategy of using medium. Oh, they are the default, so it's fine. I don't mind. You cannot really say that I'm cheesing it or anything. It's like I'm just using the same car I'm competing with. It's like the category I'm intended to use. Okay. It is what it is. The balancing team, I guess, was not paying enough attention. Well, depending on the amount of time that I have remaining after this championship today, I could do the rally license after this. I don't know if that's gonna be enough time, honestly. It probably won't. It's as I say, this thing is extremely long. If a 10 race championship with 5 laps each took an hour and 20 minutes, this one could easily take close to 3 hours, which is the time I usually stream. And neither of these guys will actually overtake here. I almost feel bad for this guy. Almost. I do remember that in some of the other Gran Turismo games, the challenging stuff was because I remember using cars like the Nissan R92 on Gran Turismo 4 and I think 5 and 6, and the hard tracks were simply because I didn't give a shit about driving well, in the sense that I did the typical, kid stuff that is just driving full speed against the wall, no fucks given. Like if you try to play the way it's intended, it's, at least this game, it's absolutely free. I guess if you want a challenge, disable the ASM and the TCS. You will get a challenge there. I feel like that will just, if anything, be frustrating. It's hard to find a middle ground because you either drive something that is undrivable, like this car without racing ails, or you have this happen, which is leaving everyone behind by a lot. It's like there is no alternative. I wonder if beating the Formula Championship is what triggers the credits. Because in these games, there is always one championship that is considered the last one that will give you the credits. I wonder if in this case it will be that one. I mean, it's the last one in the professional league, and everything else is either rally or endurance, so I don't think any of those will be considered more important than that. And I'm about to lap someone as well. Who is the lucky guy? Actually have no idea who you are. No matter. We're gonna be overtaken. Hopefully you don't take it personal. I'm not sure. I mean, it's supposed to be one of those typical, like, you know, touring cars, right? It's like you are one category too low for being here. Yeah, it's fine. least you are giving it your best. In real life, you have multi-class races with slower and faster categories in the same race. So this scenario will not be strange. In fact, the Le Mans prototypes were in competitions like that. One of them, if I'm not mistaken, is called IMSA. You have in one hand Le Mans prototypes, and in the other one categories like the GTR, GT3, for example. And in those cases, the idea is that the slower categories act as an obstacle for the fastest ones. They're supposed to manage the overtakes of slower cars. And that's all pretty nice, but here we are all considered part of the same category. Oh, that was a spin. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting that I spun the wrong way. And my tires are not even busted, so it was a little bit weird. But it doesn't matter. I mean, the second place is 31 seconds behind me, so I don't think that little spin is gonna be relevant at all. And keep in mind that this is with the racing aids enabled. Imagine the potential for spinning without them enabled. I think that I couldn't lap the Ford GT that is right there. It's okay. You don't get more points for lapping someone. And even if I did, it's not like I need them anyways. Okay, where else are we going? And where are we dropping? This is my least favorite track. Well, maybe because of that it's actually gonna be challenging, you know? Being my least favorite track and all of that might actually make this race a challenge. We will see. The LMP fell for that corner obstacle. Is that piece of mountain that is peeking out on the corner. So too bad, mister. But this LMP is surprisingly too close for comfort. This LMP, if he keeps up this pace and he keeps not pitting in, that will be a problem. On that piano is gonna be absolutely deadly with a car like this. As I say before, this type of cars, hitting a piano like that in the very center of the car is a good way to give the car flying powers. It seems that this might be the first race where my opponents might actually be going faster. So maybe it's time to prepare the turbo after all, huh? That's the thing. We always have that option. There is that turbo kit waiting for me. Only waiting for a call. It's gonna be installed. There's also a possibility that maybe the logic for the LMP being faster in this race is because it's using like softer tires, which will surely mean he will pit. Clearly, that's what it means. Okay, if that's not what it means, we can be sure that I'm not winning the race. But it's a good warning to put the turbo kit on the next race. So if that's the case, it will be very messed up because it's basically like your option is like either a super free race or a straight up utter defeat. You cannot pick a balanced race. That's not an option in the menu. But too early to say. I have the hope that he's gonna pit. At some point in the race, it doesn't matter when, but to pit at least once. At least for now, with my speed, I'm gaining some advantage. But when I say my speed, I mean in general, like the fact that I'm driving fast, faster than them. If I can keep widening the advantage, the fact that they pit or not should be irrelevant. It seems that the GT1 has fallen off from race here. In every other race, it seems like he stayed on the second place and only fall back after pitting. But here, he's simply behind without pitting, you know? Pretty fitting that we get the turbo lover race. Like, the game is telling me to install that turbo kit. But no, dude, come on. If I install that turbo kit, these things are gonna be even more free than they already are. We want a little bit of a shake up in the competition, you know? So I still won't pit yet. For now, I will stay on the track, of course. Where else? Yes, my front right tire, which is the one with the most wear, is not even... It's like a tone of orange, but like you will probably just call that. Well, yeah, I guess it is a little bit orange, but not the orange you have to worry about. Not yet. Now it's starting to look like a worrisome orange. Much as I would like to, I just don't think that with these tires I can do a pitless race. Yeah, I will need something harder. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. So I'll still hold on for now. See how much I can hold on. This is dangerous because in any lap, when those things get darker, not gonna be very nice at all. That guy is pitting, but not the LMP. It seems like he will continue that way. I will have to. If I keep it for a couple of laps, turning will actually be a lot slower. I mean, I still want to hold on, dude. Want to hold on a little bit more. I will keep holding on. You're gonna bite me in the ass later, but that's fine. So be it. When we have someone lap, well, normally the right strategy would have been pitting in to avoid dealing with the lap car, but it doesn't seem like I'm gonna overtake it here anyways. I'm pitting in this lap, even if it's a mistake. I'll try. I feel that I could have still resisted the rest of the race, but I don't know, dude. It's too risky, and especially on a track like this where a mistake can completely make you lose an insane amount of time. That being said, the LMP is not gonna overtake me. Like, if he wants to overtake me, he would have to overtake me on the track. But yeah, the ball is in your court. See how you do with it. Surprisingly, in this race he has been going fast and still without a pit stop, so with that being the case, if he keeps getting faster, he might win one race. Okay, congratulations to him. That is if he manages to do that, of course. That will be his strategy the whole tournament. Like, just do the racing all in one go. No pitting allowed. I don't know if I should say that this race was free or not. Hard to tell. I mean, seems that I was in control the whole time, but it only takes one mistake to not be in control all the time, you know. Only one mistake. I guess the racing aids just make you super consistent. Alright. Well, unless you install the turbo kit, Mr. Rival, you're not winning this. I can do it too, but unless you do it, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna remain like this. I mean, it's working well enough, you know? But yeah, what other tracks are we doing? It's Deep Forest, yeah. Okay. Well, Deep Forest is an even shorter track. I could theoretically do this one without pitting. If the previous one, I did it mostly out of being careful, but I feel like I could have survived the previous one without pitting, which means that I should be more than able to survive this one without pitting. We will see. And the LMP is getting impatient, huh? Come on, dude. You should have woken up a couple races ago. I mean, there is still enough races in the tournament to make a comeback, but you will have to work very hard for it. And the other guy overtook you. And shouldn't have been that impatient, I think. That guy looks hungry. This is a very short track compared to the previous ones, at least. I should not need to pit stop whatsoever. Couldn't imagine driving manual transmission in a car like this. That would be crazy. I mean, in real life they do, but I cannot imagine doing this, even in a video game, much less in real life. So they don't use a gearbox for that. They actually have they can gear shift in the wheel itself. So, I mean, with how fast these things go and how often you have to gear shift, if you had to reach with your hand every time on the gearbox, it would be a death trap basically. But I think, I'm not sure, but I think that's how early Formula models were, right? You had a gear box that you had to reach out every time with how fast those things were. Okay, not a particularly good idea. And I'm not skipping that corner on purpose, but the game expects you to do it so fast that without doing that, I feel like I'm gonna go to the wall every time. And maybe I'm just exaggerating. Well, interestingly enough, that second place is following me very close. This guy usually pits in, but with this track being shorter, maybe he won't. Or maybe he will, I don't know. But if he doesn't, this will be a close race. If he keeps going like this the whole race, it will actually have a worthy rival. This is the typical situation where I get a better advantage in some places, and he gets a better advantage in some other places. There are some sections I do badly, and there are some sections he does badly. Because the advantage goes like to 2 seconds, but then it goes back to like a second and a half. So it's a back and forth. I'm surprised my PB is so much better than the lap times I'm doing right now. I really don't know how it will be if one of these races is Monaco. That's gonna be a disaster, as I already said. I mean, at least I can imagine how it is to drive a car like this thanks to the license test, but how are my opponents gonna drive? If my opponents are suddenly godlike in Monaco, team, is he speeding in? Well, I guess that just made the race absolutely free. Like, this race will be challenging if I needed to pit, but I won't. Not with this tire wear. There's absolutely no need. Because if I had to pit, the other LMP will overtake easily. Well, I don't know, he's 10 seconds away actually. Maybe he wouldn't overtake that easily. But I want the pit stop. it's a bad idea. So nobody can deny that these cars are clearly going faster than in the first races. Not fast enough to pose a problem, but faster for sure, and that's exactly what I fell for in the previous Gran Turismo World Championship. The cars actually going slow first and then going fast. And I ended up losing. I'm still salty about that, by the way. I feel like at this point I don't even feel like getting the run back. Like, I feel like at this point I just can't be asked at all. And this guy is gonna get lapped again. This guy is supposed to be a shower. But he's not as fast as an actual shower. That's a shame. Better luck next time. Here the result will be the same. Will not make any difference. That was weird. You see those sparks? Like they appear above my car. There was a fairy summoning them. Not like the wall here really matters. Yeah, that was considerably free. Pretty free even. I feel like a race like this I probably would have won it with the sprint as well. Also, that guy is gonna end the race right there, because when the leader goes through the finish line, everyone else that crosses the finish line is considered that his race is over. Obviously, with the added lap. But yeah, otherwise, they will have to do another whole lap. But yeah. Shame for him, or I guess better for him to not make him waste time, you know? Well, as you can see there with the times. Oh, no way. They are actually doing the fucking test course, dude. Why? That's just my question. Why? What do you find enjoyable about the test course? Do I even need to install the turbo here? I mean, the thing about installing the turbo is that it will make this go faster. As in, I mean, yeah, the car, but I mean that the event will be over faster, so I'm installing this simply to get this over with as quickly as possible. Like, because I'm gonna win regardless, only with the... Oh, it's going so fast. It's like there are multiple things on the tachometer. This is simply bad game design and nothing else. Having this many test course races is so lame. The sooner we can be done with this, the better. So is this car gonna go even faster than the other one, I wonder? Or wait, you cannot go faster than that, perhaps? Really? Are you saying that the turbo here doesn't even matter that much? That's unexpected. Unless you can only do it on a straight. But in that case, funnily enough, the Lotus Esprit will have done this faster. Okay, no, it's still picking up speed. Seems that it loses a little bit of speed on the little corner, but you know, like ironically, the Lotus Esprit will have done this faster. That's interesting. It feels like the turbo doesn't do anything. Like I could have gotten this result without the turbo, pretty much. Unless I made the last gear way too wide, and that's why it's not reaching the red line at all. And maybe if you do it too wide, it's simply like not enough to utilize all of the available speed. Is that what's going on here? I don't know. I'm not a technician. Well, not for cars at least. It tries to pick up speed on the straight. The moment you have to steer a little bit, it loses it. That's normal. In real life, at least. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna win regardless, but the problem is that it will take longer than it will otherwise take with the Esprit. But obviously picking the Esprit will have made me do all of the other races a lot slower. Though the real problem here is remembering to turn this back to normal. Like removing the turbo and making the transmission be normal instead of wide. Like, as I say, this is simply bad game design. Like, there is no reason to have all of these stupid ass test course races in multiple cups. It adds absolutely nothing to the game. They are not hard to win, they are not fun to drive, they are extremely long, and they are all the same because you don't have a rival to constantly push you. Like, the way it feels as a player is that you're simply going forward. So yeah. The guy that thought about this, about adding the test course in this game so much, should be fired alongside the guy that thought that the Monaco test was a good one. Those two, unless it was the same one. I mean, it could have been the same one. The one that plans what the events for the game have to be, and he thought that both that and this event were good ideas. Unbelievable. But yeah, if anything, this completely confirms my decision of what I want to do here. Like, I will try the rally and then the Formula Championship, and then I'm out of the game because it's very clear there is absolutely no reason to do anything else. if this is what's gonna be like. If this is the sort of race you can expect. Okay. Just try rally for a little bit. Hey, maybe depending on how long the rally events are, maybe clear all of the rally events and then do the Formula Championship and then sayonara. It's a shame, but yeah, really seems like unless you play this game on release, there's really nothing redeeming about this game when Gran Turismo 4 is available. Like, unless you purchase this in 2001, and obviously the insane jumping technology probably blow your mind the same way it blew my mind, but for other games. Like, unless that was the case, this game has no value as a player. Like, at that point, go for Gran Turismo 4, dude. And it's not like it even has any exclusive content either. All of this shit that you're seeing here is in Gran Turismo 4. Well, except for, I think that Special Course 11 is not in Gran Turismo 4. Or the little that I remember. But aside from that, everything that you see here is in 4. Everything. This car, this track, all of the other cars. Like, yeah, maybe there is one car that is not in 4 that is in this game, but it's not worth it. Whatever that car is not worth the rest of the game. So yeah. It is what it is. But, like, doing it this way is a way of experiencing it firsthand, right? Because if someone tells you, you know, Gran Turismo 3 sucks because there are a lot of test course events, you might think to yourself, well, that's not that big of a deal, right? It's whatever, like, just do them and move on. But no, it only takes until you actually do it yourself like this that you realize how bad of an idea it is. You know? Well, theoretically it's still a bad idea, so it's not like you needed to experience it, but here at least it makes it more clear, and it also shows it, in case anyone is interested and stumbles across this video. See that this is the sort of experience that you can expect from this game. You could theoretically say that all of this is optional, but with that same criteria, the whole game is optional. You know? You see, I understand the game like presents events that you can pick. You can pick this event, that event, and if there is an event you don't like, you don't pick it. But this is theoretically one of the main events of the game. It's supposed to be the Gran Turismo World Championship, and like any championship, you cannot just not play a race. Well, yeah, technically you can forfeit it and get no points from the race, but at that point, it's as I say, like at that point the whole game is optional. We're starting to look at it that way. Oh well. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm still giving a chance to the stuff that I haven't seen yet. Like, I still want to see Rally and I still want to see the Formula Championship, and I will. But if I was slightly smarter, I would just stop right here. Because it's like there is nothing else to see. I already saw everything that needs to be seen. But that's the reason why my next objectives are the Rally and the Formula Championship, because those should be different enough than anything that I've done so far. The Rally simply because it's a completely different mode. It's not a normal race, it's a time trial. Assuming it's like Gran Turismo 2, of course. And the Formula Championship, I want to assume it's gonna be harder than any of these championships, because all your rivals are gonna be using cars that should theoretically be faster than yours. So yeah. Like, to the point that maybe I won't even be able to beat it if I use this car. Maybe I will need to farm endurances until I get lucky to get the Formula car. I won't do that though, in case there was any doubt. Like, the endurances is something that I knew I wasn't gonna do some days ago. But yeah, if instead of that, the idea is not just doing it, but farming them as well, no thank you. I don't think that will be necessary. I wonder how differently everything would have gone if in that Miata Endurance I would have gotten the Formula car instead of the Miata. It would have been even more free than it is right now, assuming I'm allowed to use that Formula car in regular events. It's fine. It's okay. Look, what matters is experiencing this. Experiencing the pain. Kinda like playing UFO, you know? Playing Toho UFO. A lot of people can tell you that the game sucks and that it's super hard and all of that. But it's not until you actually play it that you realize the extent of that. Or, well, a game like Wings of V, you know. In that game... See, that game is an experience that despite how painful it was, I don't regret having. That was a super unique experience. That game... Like, I remember it with so much joy, despite how painful it was to beat. This game, on the other hand, I don't think I'm gonna remember it with joy, because I remember this game and I'm gonna remember Gran Turismo 4 simply being better. With Wings of V, you don't really have a comparison, because it's an extremely unique game. That's the thing. Games like that are one of a kind. You don't have many like those. It was made by the same creator as Boshi, but it's a very different game than Boshi. Even though it's more or less the same idea, they are still very different. That's an experience that anyone that enjoys hard games, you should experience that at least once in your life. Even if you don't beat it, that's okay, but just experience that game, play it. It's available on Steam. It's not like you have to do anything weird to play it. No, just head to Steam, it's right there. Game is called Wings of V. V spelled D-E, V-I. You know, like the word video, right? Like that V. In fact, thinking about it makes me want to play it again, but what would I even do by playing it again? Like beating it again? That's painful enough that I don't wanna do. No thank you. And there is supposed to be like a super hard mode with permadeath or something. There is absolutely no way I'm playing that either. But yeah, the point is that as a one-time experience, it was pretty cool. Certainly recommended. Also been a while since I played an I Wanna Be the Guy fan game. I don't really feel like playing those. So with this new monitor that I have, maybe my reactions are better. Unlikely. But you never know. So actually, precisely because of this new monitor, it might be possible that some fun games don't even run properly. The thing about monitors that are faster than 60 Hz is that any game that does not have a frame rate cap program into the game, it will go as fast as it's allowed to go. Oh, my oil. Will you look at that? Well, but see, here is the thing. Can I change my oil in the middle of the championship? Like, is there a way to exit the championship without forfeiting it and changing the oil? I know there is a save option. So maybe I have to use that option. I'll try, guys. I don't want to do the rest of the championship with bad oil. Especially when my opponents are clearly not gonna have that problem. I don't want to have that problem either. But there is a save option that is differently from saving replay. You can save the game. Yeah, but that's the problem. It takes you back here. But if you put terminate race, retire, no. But that's the problem. You can't go back then. You're stuck here. So you cannot change the oil, so you're supposed to eat a dick, basically, while your rivals clearly don't have that issue? Or can I do that in the settings? I didn't see that setting before. Well, regardless of if the setting is there, I need to put this back how it was normally, which is here, and the turbo, remove it. Though honestly, the turbo, if I'm gonna have an issue with the oil, maybe it's a good idea to keep it. There is no option for the oil. These are all the parts that you can buy on the Tune shop. But when it comes to settings, you also don't have anything to change oil. Like, you cannot change oil, essentially. Well, I don't know what you want me to do. That's so messed up. Damn. You're just supposed to eat a dick. Okay. Sure. At that point, installing the turbo will probably be a good idea, because I have to compensate the performance loss here. So I'm definitely gonna lose performance. I mean, it was very noticeable with the Esprit. I don't know if it will be that noticeable with this. I most likely will be. What the hell? Where are you going, LMP? And I got distracted, but did I see that wrong on the minimap, or did he teleport? I saw one of the little circles kind of like snap out of the place it was. Maybe I saw it wrong, but I feel like I saw someone snap. Doesn't seem like it matters though. The oil, I mean. You can see the distance here is very convincing. Keep in mind that theoretically I removed the turbo, so not like I even have that as an advantage here. Wait, no way. Wait, the reason why they are going so slow is because the Ford GT is slowing everyone down because he's somehow on the lead. That's pretty funny. Well, he's no longer on the lead. There is no way. Yeah, that guy on the lead, on the second place has to be someone else, right? Yeah, he's back at the GT1 for the second place. It seems that the LMP here is gonna drive slow. I hope. I hope because, well, this is a very long track, so maybe the LMP will actually pit like for the first time in the championship. I don't know. Well, honestly, my performance doesn't seem that affected. You know that for the Lotus Sprint, well, actually, I say that, but this guy is gaining on me 100%. This guy is actually gaining on me. I was gonna say that on the Lotus Sprint, you could see your horsepower go down when the oil was going bad. But with this one, it's still at 690. That is the default horsepower for this thing. So maybe the oil affects it differently, or maybe it doesn't affect it at all. It will be a little bit weird, because at that point, why even bother putting that there? What I do know though is that this guy is theoretically going faster than me. But as long as it's only this guy and not the Le Mans prototype, I don't really care. I mean, the LMP seems like it's doing very badly right now. Okay, I'm fucking up the chicane, that's the issue. But I'm so not used to do the chicane from this side. I mean, that's where this guy is mostly getting his advantage from. That chicane is murdering me. I guess the next objective is figuring out how to do the chicane properly. It's not my fault that all of these tracks are, well, not all of them, but I think that so far half of the tracks in this championship have been their reverse versions, and most of them I haven't played them before, so I kind of have to adapt on the fly right now. But looking at the LMP, it doesn't seem like they are doing that badly. I obviously cannot tell how far they are because unless this guy pits, it won't tell me the time difference. But I don't know. Okay, remember the chicane here, from left to right. But I still go super long, like before it. Just that it's obviously a chicane that wasn't made to be done in reverse. Uh-oh. Oof, that was close. But the LMPs is still very far. And even if this guy gains on me, it matters very little. Since he's gonna pit anyways. So, considering that I'm also gonna pit, obviously, wouldn't that be a problem? Because we will be equal. I mean, he's probably gonna lose time with the guys behind, but if he pits and then I pit, it wouldn't be that much of an advantage. Well, if he pits on this lap, it means he will pit twice. Which means it will be a guaranteed victory. But if he doesn't, we will pit once, both of us. No, he won't. Okay, so I mean, the distance is still pretty convincing, I think. It's getting wider and wider. My only problem is this very annoying chicane here. That's the real problem. I've been thinking that at least, regardless of how easy the rally is, for example, like if I get the Suzuki Scudo that is apparently completely busted, the good thing about the rally is that all the tracks are gonna be new. Because, you know, to test this game originally, I went into the arcade mode, and the arcade mode has one race that you can do with rally cars, and the track is completely new. Okay, the track is actually a completely different one than any of the ones that I've been playing. That's pretty nice. Surprisingly, he's not pitting yet, but all things considered, my tires are also not doing badly right now. Not sure why, maybe it's because it's a track that has so many corners that you're gonna be going slow, and probably not really screeching the tires so much. So crazy when you do events so long that you actually recognize the songs being repeated. I mean, it's inevitable because you don't have an infinite amount of songs, but it just tells you that these events are very long. That's what it tells you. Very, very long. No, this is gonna be free, so I guess not sure what to say really. Uh-oh, hold up. That was I lost control there. Maybe I shouldn't take victory for granted either, right? Sometimes it happens that I randomly spin. Wonder if it's because of the oil or because of the tires. I mean, the tires are merely yellow. Shouldn't be because of the tires. The first cars entering pits, and they are the cars that don't matter whatsoever. So yeah, like they can do whatever they want. The gap keeps getting wider and wider. Oh, hold on. Was looking at the landscape so much that I almost went face first into a wall. And the guy in second place is pitting in. And the LMP is going so slow that he might not even get the second place. Okay, no, he will get it, but he's so far away that even I could pit in with no consequence. Well, 29 seconds. Way more than enough to pit stop and not lose time, but yeah, for some reason in this track it feels like I don't even need to pit stop. Yeah, the tire wear seems to be super slow. Maybe it's because there is no uphill or downhill. It's an urban circuit that the whole floor is on the same level. Could that be a reason? Even tunnels like this that have a slight inclination, it's not bad enough. Maybe it's because of that. And so far I haven't seen Le Mans, by the way. I have to check the endurance menu again to see if that Le Mans thing, if I made that up in my mind, or if it's actually there. Because if the event is exclusive to an endurance, against my better judgment, I will actually be tempted to play it. Because if it's the only way you can access that track from the simulation mode, or as I say, maybe I just made that up and it actually doesn't exist in this game, and it only appears in Gran Turismo 4. Final lap at least. I mean, the fact that there are still 3 more races remaining is feels like such a slog, but because it is, pretty much. I also think that I haven't done this chicane properly a single time in the whole race. All these 10 laps, I didn't do it right a single time. Not in one of them. Just did it terribly in all of them. Oh, and the GT1 actually overtook the LMP. Maybe it entered the pits. I really did not pay attention. I don't know. I don't care either. I mean, 32 seconds of advantage. I wonder what was the lowest advantage I got in this championship, because all of them were more or less like this. Also, this is the first time that guy gets second place. Every other race he has gotten third. Not on that one. Alright, what else do we have? Can you imagine test course in reverse? That will be pretty funny. Now we have the Tokyo circuit. At least this one not in reverse. Well, the Tokyo track feels that every time that I played in this track, in this game, all of the races have been more or less interesting. So maybe that will also be the case here. Maybe we're gonna have an interesting race. Oh shit. Thanks for the push. Appreciate it. These are all corners that I always take slowly, but in reality, you could... Well, this guy is going a little bit overboard though. Because with that speed, the only thing you're gonna be taking is the walls up your face. I don't know what's actually wrong with you. You're going faster than you should. Hey, chill a little bit, damn it. We're gonna end up getting into an accident. Okay, maybe... No, the right there actually broke too early. That was way too early for a corner like that. It's hard to tell. A lot of these corners look a lot slower than they actually are. And it seems that... Oh, someone had an accident. The guy that is in third place got an accident. Not a very meaningful one. That was the LMP. What happened with the LMP? Are you okay? Doesn't look like it. Nah, he's fine. These guys are following closely. It seems that this track is simply a miracle. Like it's guaranteed to give an interesting race no matter what. Huh? And that's good to know. I keep doing that corner so slow. I keep getting baited into thinking it's gonna be a slow corner when it's a fast corner. And that's where these guys take advantage of me. You're awfully close. At least I have the relief that you're most likely gonna pit. But even if you do that, the LMP is still close. I mean, not as close as you are, but still dangerously close. Remember to do this corner fast. Exactly, like I didn't even need to press the brakes. Like I just lifted the accelerator slightly. No need to use the brakes at all. leave that corner way too open. It seems that I just cannot get this guy off me. Well, I like that. Until he enters the pits, at least this has the potential to be interesting. That was bad. Like if I don't say it out loud, I cannot do that corner without braking. Like I just have the moral obligation to brake. Are you gonna pit? Yeah. He will. It also means that I essentially cannot pit with the LMP so close to me. But this is certainly a race that I don't think the tires are gonna survive until the end like this. So I say that, and I went to the pits in multiple of them, but I feel like I probably would have been fine. Like probably even without the pit stops, I wouldn't have had many problems. I guess I did it simply to be safe. Here I cannot do it to be safe with that second place so close to me. In the other ones I had more than enough margin, but not right now. Is he actually aiming on me? He kinda is. Not only I have to deal with not entering pits, but also I need to go faster. Okay, so at this pace, this guy is gonna reach me. It seems that front left tire is gonna give me trouble. At least a good thing is that I'm essentially, even if I fail in all of the other races, I'm pretty much guaranteed to win the tournament no matter what. So that's always nice to have the guarantee. I think that the place I lose the most amount of time is on the final corner. That thing I do it so slowly that every time I look at the minimap after it, that guy is closer. Even though I get so much advantage from the rest of the track, to add to the slowdown. Yeah, this final section I do it terribly. I guess I simply don't know what's the right way of doing it. Okay, with that left tire, I'm gonna be going even slower right now, so... Oh, and I also have lap cars in front of me, 2 of them. Well, that won't be very nice at all. So they might slow my rival down too, so that will be nice. Come on, dude. How are you doing that corner? That's not how you do it. Right, well, it's all yours. That's most likely gonna slow down the LMP considerably. Since the AI is not very smart when it comes to overtaking, most likely gonna slow down by it. My tire is very dead right now. But you only need to survive one more lap. That's all you need to do. Just one more lap. Oh, he has 2 cars to deal with. There's one that just got out of pits. So this might be good. I have a shield right now. I can start to notice in some of these corners that this thing is doing its best, but it's struggling to steer at all. I will at least lap one more car probably before the end. Essentially, the only guys that I didn't lap were the 2 guys that are always behind me. Well, in fact, I don't know what's going on in that corner. Is the GT1 actually overtaking the LMP? No, I think that... Well, I don't know. I will have to see the results. How is it? No, that one... No, that one was very far behind. Alright. Well, that one was slightly closer, but still my advantage is gigantic regardless. Like, there's absolutely nothing these guys can do. Like, I'm just very ahead of them. Oh, this is... Well, there you go. We are in Monaco. And the fact that this is not the final race, wait, 15 on this shit? Man, you know that seeing Monaco is already enough to make me not want to do this, but seeing 15 laps is a little bit messed up, don't you think? So if this is not the final race, I wonder if Le Mans is gonna be the final race then. I mean, what other race? Well, unless they still have high-speed ring and they save it for last. Like the classic OG Gran Turismo track. That will be a cool surprise, but it's most likely, if this game has Le Mans, it's gonna be Le Mans. There is no doubt. So how is it going, Sunshine? 15 laps is a little bit too much, but... I mean, the problem... 15 laps is a problem, but the problem is that it's in Monaco. That's the main problem. Yeah, that's the main issue here. You know? 15 laps, but in Monaco. Yeah, you can say that it's mentally draining, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing well. I mean, outside of these extremely long races, I guess, I'm doing very nice. And it's most likely that the next track is gonna be Le Mans. So you will know why these cars are called Le Mans Prototype. You will see the track that is responsible for that name. But that's the thing, if the last track is Le Mans, you cannot do 15 laps there. Like, Le Mans is an extremely long track. Like a very, very long track. If you make 15 laps there, that could legitimately take like an hour and a half easily. Like 15 laps in Le Mans, even if it's with cars like this, it most likely will be around an hour and a half, I think. So I hope that if you put Le Mans, you consider the fact that it's a way longer track than any of the other ones in the game. Like, 5 laps will be a lot, but it will be at least reasonable. You know? And also, as I was mentioning some streams ago, if it is Le Mans, which version of Le Mans? The one with the super long straight or the one with the chicanes? Because if it's the one with the super long straight, it might be worth it to change the configuration of the car to make it go faster there. But yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Don't worry too much about it. It's funny though, I must admit. We'll say that the game has sense of humor. Very dark humor though. We'll even say that it's getting into the prank territory. It's just the way it is, you know. Is it a horror game? It will be a horror game, yeah. I mean, the thing is that the jump scare is when the next track is revealed. When the next track is revealed and the lap count is revealed, that's gonna be the jump scare. I hope you're ready for that, but hey, don't worry, it's not gonna happen in a while because of how long this fucking race is gonna take. So you wouldn't have to worry about that anytime soon, you know? We're gonna be fine for a while. Well, another thing that they made is the AI is apparently very bad on this track. Like, the AI cannot do shit in here. They cannot... Like, the second place is already 10 seconds away. So you don't have to worry about losing. Like, losing is not the problem. The problem is finishing the race. That's the problem. Crazy to think Ridge Racer 4 entire campaign can be played in an hour. Yeah, I mean, that's basically, at that point in time, those games were still more or less made with an arcade mindset. Like, games were supposed to be beaten relatively quickly. Well, this game has an arcade mode, by the way. You don't have to play the simulation mode if you don't want to. You can always go for the arcade mode. So there's that. But yeah, when it comes to the simulation mode of Gran Turismo, it was always meant to be kind of like you are playing an RPG, right? Basically, at the time in the 90s, they were essentially this, when it comes to consoles, there were this big divide in the type of games there were, where you essentially had, on one side, arcade ports and arcade-based games, which were the typical that you had runs, right? Like, you had like runs of half an hour or maybe an hour, but not much more than that. And then you had like the RPG style games that it was essentially about having very long campaigns that you were supposed to beat in multiple sessions. Of course, in the middle you also have games that are kind of a mixture of both. There are games that are not really about farming, but are also not short arcade experience, but however retain arcade playability, and the perfect examples are games like Super Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot, right? Those type of games are, well, Sonic Adventure too, right? Like, those type of games were always like a mixture of both. Like, having the campaign style that RPGs kinda popularize, but still retaining the arcade gameplay, and also the fact that you don't really role play, of course. You just go from beginning to end. Gran Turismo is mostly a game that is meant to be kind of like, well, at least simulation mode of Gran Turismo. It's supposed to be like an RPG game but with cars, while Ridge Racer is, at least in the 90s, it retains the arcade idea, you know. There is an exception being Race Racer. Race Racer was supposed to be more leaning in the RPG side, with the whole credit system, and well, the fact that, you know, by earning money you could buy upgrades or other cars. So that one is a little bit of an exception. But yeah. Then after the 90s, in the early 2000s, I think that a lot of games were like, okay, we shouldn't do the same thing that arcades do because they are getting obsolete, but we also, you know, we could make like a 10-hour game, right, as a standard. And a lot of them were like that, and they are still to this day more or less like that. Depending on the game, of course. It's a nice perspective how the switch from arcade to console was quite gradual. Nowadays it's hard to imagine a new release being very arcade-like unless it's from an indie developer. And even then it's not that frequent. Because at that point it will have to be a game like a shoot 'em up. And let's just say that shoot 'em ups are not very frequent releases. I'm gonna pit in on this lap, by the way. I have no clue where the pit entrance is. I mean, I saw it, it's just I don't know how, once you are there, what you're supposed to do. No more than 30 hours for a game excluding repetition. Yeah, it usually tends to be like that, but it heavily depends on the game. Like, for example, Elden Ring is a game that is longer than 30. And unfortunately, it's because of repetition. Like, that game recycles like the developers were Greenpeace, activists. Like, that game recycles like there's no tomorrow. Also, wait, the paddocks stop back there. There's not supposed to be any paddock there. But whatever. As you wish. Damn, this advantage is insane. I went to pits and these guys are not even close. And they also won't be close either. Elden Ring recycles so much, it's crazy. It's the excuse for making it open world, because developers know that making a game open world for some reason gets more sales. So in order to keep the illusion of an open world, half of the content in the game is recycled. Because if it was an actual open world where everything in the game was different from the rest, it will be a way more expensive game. Yeah, it's a waste of time, pretty much. Yeah, I really wasn't a fan of Elden Ring whatsoever. Well, I haven't beaten it, though that's less of... I haven't beaten it because I got filtered, not because I don't think of the recycling or whatever. But yeah, even if I had managed to beat it, I would still think that it's a game that is not better than the Dark Souls series. Like, the open world, the only thing that it does to me is hurting the game. But it's pretty clear people don't think that, so otherwise it wouldn't have sold so well. It's a similar scenario as I have with Castlevania and the Metroidvanias. You know that Castlevania, after Rondo of Blood, essentially abandoned the classic platforming how's it called? Well, format, right? And it went into a Metroidvania format, which is essentially following Metroid, like kind of like open world with upgrades in order to progress, right? And a lot of people love that. Like, a lot of people hear the word Metroidvania and they get their you know, their underwear wet. But if you ask me, I very heavily prefer the classic platformers. It's as I say, it's a similar position that I have with open world. It's like a minority opinion, unfortunately. Open world is rarely done right. Usually it's not done very well. But it's not like people really care. That's the thing. Our opinion is in the minority. People love open world and people love Metroidvanias too. I don't prefer them, but the majority does. So you're a video game company for profit, obviously you're gonna go where the majority wants to go. And right now that's open world. Metroidvanias are more of an indie game thing, but open world is where every single multi-millionaire company is putting their money on. Well, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, the new Resident Evil game will be kinda open world. I'm not sure, maybe the trailer made it seem that way and it won't be the case, but it kinda looked like that. What do you think of Hollow Knight? I don't like it. It's a game that I will never understand how it has such an insane following. I didn't think it was a bad game by any means, but it just felt like, you know, it's a game. It's a game. It's an okay game. But it feels like everyone thinks it's like the second coming of Christ. I don't know how or why, but yeah, I just think that it's an okay game and nothing more than that. I don't know how everyone is so obsessed with it. More importantly, so obsessed with the sequel that never comes. Like that Silk Song shit. A sequel that is never gonna come out. And I don't understand how there is such an obsession. Like, I really don't get the obsession behind Hollow Knight. It's a game that is not for me, that's for sure. It's still crazy because I don't know what example to put, but I feel like there are some other games. Well, actually, I always say the same stuff now that I think of it. There are some games that I understand the mass appeal, even though they don't apply to me, like Fortnite and company, right? Like, I understand why they are super popular. Like, there is no doubt. But Hollow Knight, I don't understand. It essentially plays like, you know, like it feels like the Metroidvanias from Castlevania, but, you know, worse. Like, I'll take the Castlevania games anytime. Like, Symphony of the Night is a game that I understand the obsession of. That's a very good game, especially when it came out. Like, that's a 90s game. The fact that that's a 90s game is very mind-blowing. I mean, Metroid already did that, but the point is that it looks like the kind of game that will have come out today. And that's pretty much what Hollow Knight is trying to be. But if you ask me, Hollow Knight has nothing on Symphony of the Night. I simply feel that I just don't understand the obsession. I really don't. But hey, it's fine. I'm the minority, clearly. So, it's whatever. I did beat it like 3 years ago, like Hollow Knight for its atmosphere. Well, that's what a lot of people say. I personally, that's one of the things I hate about the game. Everything is dark, everything is devoid of color, everything is like silent. It's like it's the most painfully boring shit possible to me. If we're talking about atmosphere, like that sort of atmosphere, I hate it personally. I want to see cool looking things. I want to see colors. I want to see shining things. You know, I want things looking cool. And Hollow Knight to me is the opposite of that. Like, to me it's the equivalent of an elevator ride, in the sense that it's boring to experience. You know, I don't like that. I also don't like it in the Dark Souls games, by the way. As much as I like the Dark Souls games, something that I certainly don't like is how, well, dark they are. I mean, that's the point. It's in the name of the game, you know. But I don't like it either. Well, in fact, places like Anor Londo, I love them precisely because how gorgeous they look. The fact that it's like a castle in all of its splendor, like amazing looking castle. It's actually not nighttime, like you can see a whole architecture in it, and you are slowly entering that castle. But and once inside the castle, it is dark and all. In the majority of Anor Londo, for what I remember, you are mostly trying to get inside of the castle. Well, now that I think about it, Dark Souls 1 is not that much of a dark game, at least compared to... But actually, looking at it, it's like half and half, you know? Like, the Dark Souls games tend to have like a common area that is like you're in the light, and it has very beautiful landscapes. And you also have the other half of the game where you're either in a cave or a castle or something dark, which I don't prefer. But Dark Souls, thinking more carefully about it, it's not as dark as I was initially saying. Actually has a lot of pretty looking places. I think the market has too many Souls-likes. Yeah, that's because it's a genre that got pretty popular. So wherever there is popularity, there is money. So of course the companies make sure to see that. Alright, so what's the final race gonna be? Is it really gonna be Le Mans, or is it gonna be something else? Let's see. No, this is not Le Mans. Right? I don't know what this is, but... This is just Grand Valley on reverse. And that's so disappointing. Wasn't this the first track of the tournament? I'm pretty sure this was the first track of the tournament. So instead of being in straight direction, it's in reverse. And wait, more importantly, why is this 10 laps? I mean, that... Okay, no, never mind. Being 10 laps makes sense. Why was Monaco 15 then? I'm afraid I don't follow the logic here. You know? Feel like I'm going loony here. But I don't quite understand the logic behind Monaco. You're gonna let me overtake. And then let's see how much advantage I'm gonna get from these guys. I mean, needless to say, regardless of my result here, I win the championship by a lot. But hey, it would be nice to win every race too. Just to send a message. Well, not just to send a message, just to show how awfully free this is, you know? Like, that's very important. You see, like, that's one thing that you have to keep in mind here. This car that I'm using is on stock settings. Like, the turbo that I purchased is not installed. And the tires are the same ones that came when I got the game. Which is like medium tires. So it's not like I'm doing anything out of the ordinary. And yet, all of these races have been absolutely free. You could say that the Tokyo one was very close. But not really, like very close is the second place being 6 seconds behind me. Close compared to everything else that was an absolute destruction. And this one is not looking much different, really. And all of this, by the way, with like bad oil. And my oil needs replacement, and I don't replace it simply because I can. But it doesn't seem like it really matters that much, clearly. So, you know, just one of those things that feels a little bit nonsensical to me. What can be done, right? That's a shame. I thought that at least these championships will be more interesting than the rest, but the professional leagues so far have been the worst thing in the game, ironically. The professional leagues just feel like a waste of time and a slog to play through. Like, some of the amateur ones were already pushing it, but a lot of them at least felt a lot closer with the cars I was using at the time. Which, if I really wanted, I could have still made it free. But with the cars that I use, a lot of the cups were exciting to play. But so far, not a single professional race has been worth it. Like, except for that Laguna Seca one with my Lotus Esprit versus the Ford GT. With that one exception, everything else has been worthless completely in professional. Everything. And I probably wouldn't complain too much about it if it wasn't so fucking long. Like, if instead of 10 laps per race it was 5, like it's in amateur, maybe I wouldn't even be complaining. I probably would be complaining because it will still be extremely easy. Well, even easier than this, since there is no strategy with the pit stops. Like, you wouldn't even go to the pits. I almost kissed the wall. But yeah, it is what it is. You already know the plans. Rally, and then the formula, and then I'm out of here. And then I'm absolutely out of here. Without a doubt. At least those are the plans for the next streams. So far there's only gonna be 2. But the fact that I still... Okay, see, here's the thing. After I'm done with this championship, I want to check 2 things. First of all, how many rally events there are. And second of all, if I made up Le Mans or if it's actually a track in this game. Because if it is a track in this game and it never showed up, I guess the only way to play it will be in the endurance, so that will mean another stream to do that endurance. But honestly, should I even do that? I'm already doing endurance right here with what I'm doing, you know? Well, to nobody's surprise, this race is going exactly like the first one. Which it's obvious because it's in the same track. I mean, unless these guys had a speed boost, and it's surprising they don't. Like, why did the previous Gran Turismo World Championship had the opponents go faster at the end? Like, that's actually something that I would have welcomed here. To at least make the races more interesting, but no. Uh-oh. Now we're gonna make it more interesting. With that spin. My bad, my bad. That was bad. Hey, that thing can happen. Not like it matters with the insane advantage I have anyways. I have the luxury to be able to do stuff like that. Not sure where I'm gonna pit in. I mean, I should have pit in on that lap, but after I lost time spinning. Keep in mind that this is the same situation as the previous races, basically having enough of an advantage with this LMP to be able to pit and not get overtaken. Yeah, I'm gonna pit on this lap, I guess. That second place is so far behind, it's crazy. Though that hairpin corner right there, it could very easily make me lose control again. That corner is so messed up. It actually is so messed up. Actual devilish corner. We're gonna go straight to pits here. This guy is most likely gonna overtake. But it's gonna be a repeat of what we did last time. He overtakes and then I eventually overtake him on the track. But maybe not even that, no, he's far enough that he's not gonna overtake at all. Well, better luck next time then. Shame for you, you know, sucks to suck. Well, quite an uneventful championship. But let this be the lesson of why doing any other championship will be a waste of time. Aside from the Formula championship, that one I will try it eventually, but other than that, it just ain't worth it, bro. Yeah, that's quite crazy regardless that a single championship can take the whole stream. Very messed up. Very, very messed up. And the fact that there are like 3 or 4 more championships just like this one is equally mind-blowing. I wonder if this is gonna trigger the credits though. I feel like they will probably save it for the Formula Championship, but in the previous Gran Turismo games, the final Gran Turismo World Championship was the one that always trigger the credits. So will this trigger it too, or what? Probably not. But who knows? At some point you kinda get a little bit exhausted of doing the same corners over and over again. I mean, at least I will admit that execution-wise doing the corners is entertaining, but Would be more entertaining if you had a bigger incentive. But with your second place being 24 seconds away, it's like you don't really have an incentive to do the corners well. Since you know that even a very big mistake won't matter at all. Yeah. It's fine. Am I gonna lap all of these guys? There's like 3 of these guys in a row. Well, these 2 without a doubt. The third one probably not. It's the 4th GT. Yeah, I will overtake him. Well, all of the shovers completely lap. Yeah, I feel like for a supposedly important tournament, lapping all of the shover cars is a little bit exaggerated, don't you think? Even lapping anyone feels like an exaggeration. Well, we finished the championship at least. We can at least say that we beat this thing. How much money am I even gonna get for this? Is it even gonna be worth it? I don't know. Well, I got the same amount of money that I got from one of the amateur tournaments. Why not? And what's the reward? It's a gacha reward for something like this too. It's a racing car. Okay, sure. Like, at this point in time, I don't think I have much use for something like that, you know? But yeah. Well, I say I wanted to check how many rally events. Okay, there's an interesting amount of rally events, yeah. Well, and there's even wet tracks at the end. And this is something I want to make sure. Did I make up Le Mans, or is Le Mans in the game? No, I think I made it up. There is this one that is Monaco. There is no Le Mans. I actually made it up. Well, that's a way to disappoint myself for no reason. My bad. Yeah, no, it's Côte d'Azur. That's Monaco. I don't know why I read that as Circuit de la Sarthe. Like, no, it doesn't say that. Like, I just hallucinated that. But you know, that's just Monaco. So that means that none of these endurances have anything useful to offer. Like, these are just driving on the same shit that... Wait, Super Speedway? Oh, it's the other oval. And none of this, except for this one and simply for getting money, none of the other ones are worth doing. Alright, well, in that case, let me just change the oil. Though it really doesn't seem to make a difference here. Hey, this thing, even with the oil completely busted, was still good enough to, you know, win by a lot. But yeah. Well, I guess in that case that will be it for me for today. This was very disappointing, but hey, it is what it is. So my idea for tomorrow will be doing the rally, like doing both the rally license, which is here at the bottom, and the rally events that come with it, since those are pretty much all new tracks. If they were in the same tracks, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even bother to do them. But considering that it's you know, that they are all different tracks. Well, and one of them being Tahiti Island, which was in Gran Turismo 2, so that's cool. But that will be my plan for tomorrow. So thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream. Have a good one, and take care.